How's it going, everyone? This is your Astrology Horoscope for Monday, February 12th, 2024. I'm astrologer Alex Skyles, and welcome to the Moonbase. Hope you guys had a lovely weekend. I sure did. In LA, we were at the Conscious Life Expo with a bunch of amazing people, great friends. Got to meet some new people. I met a lot of wonderful new people, and I filmed my great friend Evan's amazing talk. He's a great astrologer, if you know Evan Grimm. Go check him out if you don't know. So I filmed his great talk that he did. He's bringing a new perspective with this kind of parental perspective with the natal chart. I thought was really phenomenal. So we're going to be editing that, and then that's going to be for sale on his website here very soon. So if you know Evan Grimm, go say what's up. I think you all love what he had to share. So today, the moon's leaving Pisces, coming into Aries. This Chiron North Node is going to get aspected by the moon in Aries here. So I think us going through this massive Pluto moment and this Chiron North Node is very important. So we're experiencing a lot of deaths and rebirths and shedding of skin and new life coming in as well. Literally within the past less than an hour ago, my grandfather, who I have his middle name, passed away. I miss him dearly, and I just want to dedicate this horoscope to him. This is not a podcast. This is a horoscope for all of you. So I want to dedicate this to him. And, you know, it's a very sad thing, and he's in a better place. He's been suffering for a while. So I think this is very much a Chiron North Node moment where we can look at where we've been suffering, and now we can shed off that old skin and move into a better place. And going through a very Pluto moment of learning how to really transmute this energy into something positive. You know, death isn't always, it's not easy, you know. People's relationship with death and their relationship with Pluto is all different. You know, I've had a very deep relationship with Pluto my whole life in my chart. So this is a very interesting kind of coming into the week here with this moon coming into Aries and this Chiron North Node at 16 degrees and now getting ready to, I mean, they're on their way here. You know, they're just within 30 minutes of conjuncting here in the geometrical aspect, right? So here it is. This is when we can really start to face our fears, our wounds, our damaged egos, all the pain and all the suffering that we've gone through as individuals that have affected our identity in a very harsh way. You know, this is a very harsh aspect, you know, and people coming into this life with this aspect, I mean, they are coming in to this life where they have faced a lot of past life trauma and past life wounds that have affected their individuality. And these children coming into this world now, they're coming in as healers, and these people are going to be able to heal us when it comes to ourselves. You know, like whenever this is a rare aspect. So I mean, we had this in 2008 in Aquarius, right? So we had Chiron North Node conjunction in Aquarius in 2008. Which I think was very important because that was the year Pluto came into Capricorn. And now that Pluto's in Aquarius, you know, it's going to start lighting up those people who were born in 2008. You know, Pluto will be. So Pluto's making this transition with this new Chiron North Node conjunction. This is very much a moment where we're going to be experiencing some very emotional things coming into our lives, you know, but also learning how to face those emotions in a intelligent way and not get too lost in just the overtaking of what these feelings can be, but also being able to face them like a warrior and take them on head first and not be terrified. There's a lot of fear going around right now. A lot of fear coming in and a lot of fear coming through other people and their projections, definitely with Pluto here and Mars getting ready to make their conjunction. There's this massive Pluto intensity of, really wanting to release and explode and put the pressure on. And we're feeling this pressure with Pluto, but at the same time, it's like, this is where the healing can really start to begin. I said this in my last horoscope, but now, like throughout this week, Chiron and the North Node, they're going to be getting closer and closer in the minutes. They're in the same degree. Now they're just minutes away. So I think what's amazing too is coming into Monday, this moon in Pisces at 29 degrees is making this really nice sextile to Mars at 29. So we can really start to see like our hard work starting to pay off, and intuitively and synchronistically feeling and seeing and witnessing like what we've put in and kind of the karmic energy we put in kind of pop up and show up in very synchronistic ways today. And really this week, this Pluto at 29 degrees, this is where the Sun and Pluto conjunct. So the Mars at 29 Capricorn with this moon sextiling over to Mars, it's really like, okay, like there, you got to think back to when Pluto and the Sun conjunct here at 29 and think about what we were doing, what your intentions were, what you were feeling, what you were thinking, because those synchronicities are going to start to pop up in a very divine way today. And top that off this Chiron North Node. Like this is a very divine moment where we are starting to really learn how to surrender here. This moon in Pisces always wants us to surrender. This Chiron North Node always wants us to surrender. And this Mars in Capricorn is not backing down. And this is the final degree of Mars in Capricorn. So this is the final last day and a half here, this Mars in Capricorn energy of like, okay, like what have you done? Have you done the work? Have you put it in? And if you have, you're going to start to see the synchronicities start to show up. Like I swear, like this past weekend, especially leading up to what I'm experiencing now in my family, I have experienced so much synchronicity this weekend, even being at Conscious Life Expo and what my own personal experience has been. There were so many wild synchronicities popping up, Venus is at 24 Capricorn. Venus is going to come to the same spot. It's on its way to sextile Neptune here. So, yeah, wherever you have been growing and building and acting upon your destiny and your purpose, coming into Monday and starting off this week, the synchronicities and these feelings of being connected to like the knowing of what you're doing and your purpose here in the world, like it's going to start revealing itself in a very powerful way. And shortly after that, Mars is going to conjunct Pluto. So right after this moon sextiles over to Mars, this moon in Aries is going to sextile over to Pluto. So it's the first time the moon in Aries is going to make this sextile to Pluto, right? So the moon knows it's about to meet this Chiron North Node here, right when it comes into Aries, sextiling Pluto. So this is where it's like, okay, like, we're ready to break free and break through the walls and kick ass and not be afraid to just charge at things head first and find new revolutionary ways to just break these patterns, break these cycles, break generational cycles. I think that's been a big conversation with Pluto and Aquarius is how can we break through these generational cycles and not be stuck, and this moon in Aries definitely is always helping us not be stuck. It's helping us always get this fire lit and just get it moving. And with, this support from Pluto to the moon, it's like, man, like it's time to really get deep here, and really kind of, I keep getting this vision of like just taking a jackhammer and just drilling, just the ground in a very powerful way and breaking it to pieces, and just getting down to the roots and getting down to the core of what really matters in a very just intense, aggressive kind of Aries moon kind of way, because what's on the surface doesn't really matter right now. It really doesn't. It's all for show. It's all for show. So this moon coming into Aries, sextiling Pluto, and this Chiron North Node is just saying, I don't give a fuck about the show. I don't give a fuck about what is on the surface here. All that matters is where the truth lies, and we can only find the truth and get to that place of real hard honesty and, get out of the victim place that this Chiron North Node has been kind of dragging on for a while. Now that it's starting to conjunct, we're starting to really face that. And once Chiron, gets a degree off the North Node, at least then we're going to start to be able to say, okay, like now I get it. Now I see. Now I know how to break through these cycles of getting caught in these victim states and just getting caught in the woe is me and I'm not good enough, or I don't know how I should be in the world, I don't know my identity in the world. We're going to start to regain that power, and this moon sextiling Pluto is going to help us regenerate that power. Pluto's not just about death and rebirth. It's also about regeneration, regenerating our DNA, regenerating our blood. Pluto rules the blood. The cells within our blood. It's about getting down to the very deep depths of the roots of where the issues come from. And it really comes from our parents, the generations that were stacked upon each other that got us to here now, and I think this moon in Pluto today is really, this moon in Aries with Pluto's help, with Chiron North Node, to be fully clear, is helping us get to the roots of where these wounds really lie. And we have to really look at the generational aspects of what we've all been facing within ourselves, because Aquarius is all about the collective. So Aries is all about the self. So when we can really face ourselves and face our relationship with ourselves and with the people in our lives, which is the South Node here, then we can understand how this karma has played out over and over and over. And, there are very few people, it seems. I'm not going to say it like that. I want to say one of the hardest things to do is to really be objective to what those things are within our generational curses, so to say, where it's up to us to be aware of them and do the work and break those patterns and be the pioneer, be the Aries, and be that North Node to really break through and start a new pattern and start a new cycle. And with Pluto here, it's allowing us to start a new generational cycle and giving us the opportunity here to be that person, to sever the past, to create a new future. And I'm feeling that very deeply right now, with experiencing the loss of life, and like I said, death and loss has been very much a part of my personal journey, which is what led me to astrology, and I just did a podcast with my wonderful friend Gabriella, who has a podcast, and we talked a lot about those kinds of personal experiences with those kinds of things on her podcast, and that's going to be coming out this week. So if you guys want to check that out, I highly recommend it. It was a lot of fun, and we got into a lot of interesting personal stuff, which is really cool. Don't really get to go there with people that much, especially in a public setting. So it's cool to share those kinds of things. And I think a lot of the things that we did talk about is coming up this week, So this is just getting down to the roots of the generational curses, because I think that's where the source of a lot of these wounds are, that this Chiron North Node is bringing up here. And this is going to be a very powerful week. It's just every week that's going by here since 2024 started, it's just the intensity, it just keeps ramping up, and this is what all planets direct feel like, is that it's nonstop motion. It just feels like it keeps going on, it keeps unfolding. And you know what? Like, we have a clear path ahead. But we want to utilize this moon coming into Aries and utilize this Chiron North Node as an opportunity to gain some new awareness to where we do need to focus on the internal work, because there's so much external stuff going on in the world, And I don't think this week that's not where our focus really lies. This week really is going to get down to the personal shit. With the moon coming into Aries Monday morning. So there's a lot of personal focus this week on ourselves. 2 weeks ago, 15 days ago, the moon was in Libra and Scorpio. So it was just, that whole week is just like relationships, this, all these other people in your life, this, blah, 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 breaking up. You're breaking up with this person. This is being exposed in your relationship. Oh, this person was lying to you. This person was cheating on you. It's not this week. This week is very personal, and it's very much about yourself, these next few days in this Chiron North Node. It's like, where are you taking your own power to really assess where you need to heal those wounds that have been where you've been damaged, whether it's generational or, maybe it's these wounds are fresh. Maybe, wherever it is for you, wherever it is in your chart, really. I would see where that is in your chart and see, okay, like I have Chiron North Node in this place in my chart. This is where I need to focus. I have Chiron North Node in my 12th house. The North Node's not going to be out of my 12th house until May. So I've been going through, I'm a 12th house Sun, Venus, Mercury. So I've lived the 12th house life. And this Chiron North Node for me personally in my 12th house is definitely giving me a lot of the karmic experiences that I've been going through since this North Node's been in my 12th house, and now that it's led to this Chiron, and it's 2 degrees away from my sun. So, it really is lighting up like, damn, like I've been through a lot. And it's affected me personally. It's affected me in ways that I can't even see, that's so buried in my subconscious, which is the 12th house. So I'm facing that. I know that that's in my 12th house. See where this is happening for you. So, and this is the last day with Mars in Capricorn. So I think we've been blazing a path, like very aggressively in getting towards our goal, and with this moon making this sextile to Mars right before it comes into Aries, get ready for some really amazing synchronicities to start popping up here. From the efforts that you've been putting in. Like, there's no doubt about it, especially with Venus and 24 degrees, it's going to make this sextile to Neptune. I think this is like really amazing energy for our career lives and our destiny in the world and what we've been doing in the world. As long as you've been like aiming that high, not being afraid to aim that high, it's like a Cancer person has a hard time aiming that high. They're more focused on their immediate environment and just, what they need to take care of right in front of them. But, with Mars and Venus and Capricorn, it's like, fuck, like we have to be manifesting this big future here. Because Mars, Venus, and Pluto are all about to conjunct. And we're going to see some wild stuff really come into our lives. We're seeing some of the weirdest, wildest shit happen in the world, like some massive flips. We've been going through this massive split in the collective since 2019, 2020, and it's only dividing even more, but at the same time, like, I've seen more unity as well in the world, and people come together. At Conscious Life Expo this weekend, like, I just felt this very amazing unifying energy that, like, wow, like, it's one place. Like, if you've never had an opportunity to experience Conscious Life Expo or something like that, and it's not like a fucking music festival or something. It's where some of the most, amazing people who are also on their spiritual path, all coming into one place, and you can really feel that, and it's pretty magical. So I am feeling this Aquarian unity in such a very positive way at the same time. So this week, this is where we really start to face a lot of deep, deep wounds within ourselves, and definitely within the collective too. It's Chiron North Node conjunction, like it's always a heavy one, but at the same time, it's like we're still blazing our path with Mars at the last degree of Capricorn and Venus in Capricorn, no matter what, and that is what compartmentalization is all about. And that's what Capricorn does well, is compartmentalize. It's like, I got my goals here. I got my emotions here. I got my friends here. I got my family here. And Capricorn, can compartmentalize all those things and, not just be an Aries where it's just like, chaos and just its own path, or being caught up like a Cancer person where it's just caught up in the emotions, or like a Libra person where it's just, I'm just caught up with all these people and I don't even know myself. Capricorn being the exaltation of Mars and being the last cardinal sign. It knows its path. It knows where it's going, but it knows that it has to have all these other compartments in its life to support the larger purpose and its destiny. And that's what Capricorn's about, is being able to compartmentalize. And hopefully through this Mars and Capricorn transit, and definitely with Venus there, and we had Mercury there at the same time, and we did have the Sun there for a little bit. Hopefully, it kind of taught you a lot of way. Even Pluto with the last 15 years. I mean, there have been a lot of lessons about learning how to compartmentalize things, in a healthy way, because compartmentalization can also get a little cold at the same time, like a Capricorn. So, we're focusing on a lot of healing this week and facing wounds. But at the same time, we're still like on the higher realms with this last degree of Capricorn with Mars there and Venus. We're still on our path. We're still fulfilling our purpose and our destiny, putting in the work and trusting our faith and trusting the divine, And so we have to make those two things kind of work this week together, focusing on our individual selves, but also focusing on the bigger picture, So that's what the cardinal signs are all about. I just went through that kind of whole, modality, kind of cross of what they are. But, that's what, to me, what I'm feeling like this week is bringing up. And it's a very personal week and for your individual self. And you got to give it to yourself this week. But also not, get too, I got the Fool card reversed. So we're starting a new journey. We're taking a new path. But we also don't want to be naive as well. Aries can be, but this is very Aries. This is a very Aries card. It's not the first card of the tarot. This is the 0 card, right? So this is almost before Aries in a way, right? So, this always gives me that very Aries-like feeling of just being that naive person or that child who's just, it doesn't see the outside world. It's not affected by judgment. It just is like, this is where I'm going in a very positive way. But we also don't want to be naive, because there is a lot of wild things happening in the world. And, there's a lot of darkness at the same time as we're casting our light, trying to keep you from manifesting a future of light, right? And that's what the story is all about. Yeah, that's what the human story is all about, is being able to have faith and trust the divine and get to know the divine while facing your shadow, facing the darkness, and fulfilling a higher purpose and a higher destiny. But we don't want to be naive, because we are starting a new path. We're just coming off this new moon in Aquarius, which was with Pluto in Aquarius, Mercury. So it's the first time we had that. This is a brand new path that we are starting, So At the same time, we want to make sure we have all of what we need. You know, we don't want to leave things behind as well. You know, we for some things you might have to leave behind. You don't need to take everything with you. That's very much what this week is too, especially with Mars and Venus getting ready to conjunct Pluto. It's like, I need to get rid of this. I need to let go of this. I don't need this for what this new paradigm is going to look like. This no longer serves me. This is very much the Fool card reversed. You know, and you want to be on firm ground. You know, you just don't want to be floating up in the air. You want to go on a new journey and step into this new path and step into this new place within yourself, especially when it comes down to where you're healing within yourself. You know, on solid ground. You don't want to make this journey about some fantasy, which is very much the Fool card reversed. You know, you want to make it about something real. You know, today's the last degree of Mars in Capricorn. It's all about the real shit you've been doing and putting in. You know, so if you've been caught up in the naivety and the illusion of what you're doing and where you're going, like, it's going to leave you empty-handed. So, as we start this new cycle and this new journey and this new generation, really, with Pluto and Aquarius, it's like we only want to take what we need, shed the skin we need to shed, and move forward in an optimistic way, but also in a critical way. You know, we want to think critically. And I think that's what this new era that we're coming into is really teaching people how to think critically. Mercury's in Aquarius. So it's all about thinking critically. It's all about seeing the entire picture and how it's all connected, which is the definition of thinking critically, you know, is witnessing this very interconnected web that we all exist in, you know, and that we all come from the same place and we're all going back to the same place. So I wish you all luck starting off this week with this North Node Chiron. It's bringing on a whole new energy. We're just coming out this new moon, and definitely we're starting to see some real amazing synchronicities pop up this week. If you already have it, I'm sure some of you probably have this weekend. After that new moon was so potent and so powerful on Friday. I could just feel... I mean, especially being at Conscious Life Expo and being in a very dense environment with like-minded people, but you could just feel the readiness to move into this new paradigm, you know, and it's not some fake-ass new age shit. This is the real deal, you know, that we have to really be aware of what we're up against and where we're at and what we're up against in our own personal lives and in the world. And I think this is giving us some perspective this week in a healthy way. So we have to take what we need and leave what we don't need. So have a wonderful Monday. If you're new here, subscribe to my channel, share this video, find me on Instagram, on the TikTok, I'm on Spotify, book a reading on my website. If you click the description in this video, you will see the link to my booking website, my Instagram, my Spotify, Instagram, all that stuff is in the description of this video. So my Pluto and Aquarius reading sale is still up and it'll be up till February 19th. And it's all booked for February, so it'll book for March, but that's okay. I wish you all an amazing week, and I will see you guys on Tuesday. Peace out. And I'm going to be doing sun sign horoscopes this week too, because I got excited when I asked and people said, hell yeah, I want some sun sign horoscopes. So I will gladly do that. And the podcast that I mentioned earlier in this video with my friend Gabriella is going to be coming out on her channel. I may post it on this channel depending on what we do. It was super badass, and I'm excited to share that with you guys because it was a much more personal thing compared to any of the other content that I've put out personally or with other people. So I'm stoked for you, the people here watching these videos with me and channeling the astrology with me to check that out. So anyway, have a great Monday, and I will see you on Tuesday. Peace out.